We've been filing our taxes ourselves for years, and 1 year our refund was over $9,000. Quick note, this doesn't mean you'll get the same amount. The amount of tax refunds you'll get depends on your numbers, your income, your deductions, and how much taxes you already paid during the year. Note that even if you earn no income at all, filing still matters. And I know taxes can feel complicated, so a lot of people just go,
"No thanks, let someone else do that for me."
And sometimes that makes totally sense. If your situation is complex, paying a professional can be worth every dollar. But for a lot of people, especially if you're a regular employee, it's not as complicated as you may think. You don't need to do any of the math because nowadays the tax software, whether that's TurboTax, Wealthsimple, or others, do all the calculations for you. Your job is just to feed the software the right information from the right documents, answer a few questions, and then submitting. That's it. So before you pay someone hundreds of dollars to do your taxes, just take a pause. If your taxes are simple, you can usually file your Canadian tax return yourself. Easy, fast, and also at little to zero cost. So today I'll walk you through the most important steps to file your taxes by yourself. And no, you don't need to print out stuff and queue at the post office to send it out. You can do it completely online. I'll be using Wealthsimple Tax as the example, but you can also use TurboTax, H&R Block, or others, and the process will be pretty similar. Now let's start with the most important question. Is your tax filing going to be simple enough to DIY? In general, if you're a student or an employee earning employment income and you get a T4, things should be straightforward, or even a T4A for additional income. A T4 is a document that looks like this. It is the slip your employer gives you that summarizes what you earned and what taxes were already taken off your paychecks during the year. Don't worry, this is nothing you need to fill out. The T4 is that document sent to you by your employer, usually per mail around the end of February. And if you are an employee, this is the main document the tax software needs to calculate your taxes. Your tax return will also be simple to DIY if you only have things like a tuition slip if you're a student, student loan interest, an RSP contribution receipt, or maybe a basic T5 like interest payment from a bank account or a GIC. This is easily manageable. Now, here are some situations where DIYing your tax return could be a bit more complicated. If you have any self-employment income or business income, rental properties, significant capital gains from investments, complicated residency situations, or when you're just unsure of how to categorize your income, that's when I'd slow down and consider getting the help of a professional. Now, before we move on to the steps for filing your taxes, a quick disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor or tax consultant, and I don't provide financial services. This video is for education and entertainment purposes only, and not tax advice. Now, let's get into the actual steps for filing your personal income tax return. Step 1 is to gather your documents and make a tax folder. You may have some documents in paper form, but personally, I will always make a digital folder where I put all the documents. So in case you need to access any information, you have everything there. Spoiler alert, nowadays both Wealthsimple Tax and TurboTax have an autofill feature. I'll explain in a bit, so you don't have to manually upload all of your documents or input every single number. So name the folder something like Taxes 2025 or so, and then put everything tax related into that folder as you collect it. Here's what you want in there: your T4 slip or slips. If you had more than one employer, you might have multiple T4s. Also collect any tuition slips, student loan interest statements, and any other relevant tax slips. For example, a donation tax slip in case you made some donations. Now, if you have any registered accounts like the RSP, TFSA, FHSA, or others, also collect the documents that state your contributions to your registered accounts. In case you're not familiar with registered accounts and want to learn more, later you can join me in this video up here. So, if you contributed to a registered account, you can get the tax documents from the financial institution you opened it with. Simply log into your bank account or investment app and go to where it says tax documents. If you have registered accounts with multiple financial institutions, remember to get them all. On the Wealthsimple app, for example, it says tax documents here, and when I click on that, it lets me download my RSP contribution receipt. Important for the RSP, note that there are usually two receipts. One is issued in January for your contributions in the previous year. After February, there will usually be a second receipt containing your contributions from January to about end February, early March. Note also that the TFSA summary is not available yet as per making of this video, but it should also come out at the end of February. If you have made RSP contributions, it may be used to lower your taxable income, and with that, your tax bill. In some situations, it can even result in a refund. Information about your RSP and TFSA contributions contributions will at some point appear in your CRA account, but I always pull my numbers from my financial apps directly as there is a lag time. Another thing you need to prepare is your social insurance number, also called your SIN. In case you don't know where to find it, it's a 9-digit number that has likely been given to you in a document at some point in time when you applied for it. If you can't find it, don't panic. You can also find your SIN on previous tax returns if you filed before. Now with that, you're ready to file your taxes now. Step 2 is to choose your filing option. So if your return is really simple, you can use the free version that both TurboTax and Wealthsimple have. Each of them also offer paid upgrades if you need a bit of extra support from an expert. Since I've been using self-employment income, I've used paid versions. But before that, when we were only earning income from employment, I found the free version to be enough. So I'll be using Wealthsimple as an example, but it will work roughly the same if you use TurboTax or other apps. Now I want to quickly mention that there are also free tax clinics in Canada, so you can look it up on canada.ca website and see if you qualify. My husband and I used this when we were students. Free tax clinics are offered usually to students or those with low incomes. From what I know though, you will have to meet them in person, and I just prefer filing my taxes online. So let's continue with Wealthsimple Tax now. If you already have a Wealthsimple account, you can use Wealthsimple Tax right away. Just go to the desktop version, log in, and click Tax. Then you'll be prompted to set up a new profile. If you don't have a Wealthsimple account yet, simply go to Start Filing and set up a new account. And I do want to mention here that Wealthsimple is an investment platform. If you don't care about that and just want to use Wealthsimple Tax, you can just sign up straight away on the website. However, if you want to use Wealthsimple to invest as well, at the moment you can actually get a $25 bonus if you use my affiliate link. I've been using Wealthsimple for almost 6 years now and really like it because it's easy to use. It's an all-rounder for beginners, I'd say, and there are no trading fees for stocks and ETFs. And you can even buy crypto if that's your thing. You only need to fund your account with $1 to get the bonus. The link is in the descriptions below, and full disclosure, I may earn a small commission if you open an account with it. So after you signed up, here's the next thing you need to do. Click on Tax, hit Create New Profile. Here I just put Living in Canada Test Profile, and if it's the first time you're using this, the system will prompt you to choose a plan. So there's a basic plan, Plus plan, and Pro plan. The Pro version does include live expert advice, so you can actually call someone, but it costs $80 plus tax, and you don't necessarily need that. As I said before, if your case is really simple, just start with the free version first. This one costs $0. It says pay what you want, so if you feel like it, you can voluntarily pay a small fee, but you don't have to. And although there's no live support here, you will still get standard email support. So let's click on that and start filling out the return. The software will guide you step by step. And the first part is really easy. Just input personal information, name and address, marital status, residency detail, information about any property you invested in, and a bunch of other general questions. Down here, there's also a section for your dependents and their income. All of this here is red just because I used dummy information. Now see on the left here, it still says refund $0. So as you fill out the return, you'll see this getting updated and gradually showing your refund amount, if any, which is quite exciting. And here's an awesome thing. Wealthsimple even guarantees a maximum refund. What this means is if you file this year, but you find a better refund with another software, they will match it. That's how confident they seem to be in their software. Okay, now we get to the easy part, the shortcut that makes tax filing really easy. Next, you can actually use the autofill function. If you click here, there's a whole video, but here's the gist. It automatically imports your tax slips and other information from the CRA directly into your Wealthsimple account. So you don't need to upload documents and fill out everything manually. That being said, I still think that step 1, which is to first gather all your documents, is still a good idea. So you have all your documents in one place on your computer for future reference. But to file your taxes, this method is super practical. Now, after you fill out your information correctly, a button that says import will appear down here. Since I didn't use any real information, this button didn't appear for me, so let's briefly switch to Wealthsimple's video to show you guys.
Once you fill everything out, you'll be able to click on the Import Forms button, which will show up in the Autofill and Add Forms section below. A pop-up will appear. Take a look at the terms and conditions. If you're good with them, click I agree. Next, click Authorize with CRA My Account to start the process. Log in with your CRA My Account user ID and password. You'll get a window showing you the SIN number associated with your My Account credentials. If it's correct, click Next. Once your authorization is successful, you'll find a list of slips and information from the CRA. To view the details of a particular slip, click on the arrow icon to the left of it. Take a look to make sure they're accurate. If there's a slip on the list you don't want to import, click the drop-down tab next to it on the right and select Don't Import. Once you're all done, click OK.
After you do this, you get back to the home screen and most fields will be populated with numbers. Here on the left, you see in this person's example, he would be owing about $1,000 in taxes. But depending on your numbers, you could be getting a refund instead. Note that tax slips don't all appear at the same time, so if you file early, you might find that not all information has been uploaded yet, and you might need to come back again a bit later to check. Now personally, I always double check and see if the information populated is accurate and matches what's in my documents. Every number and information you input will potentially impact the amount of taxes you still need to pay or any tax refunds you might get. So even though the system has done the heavy lifting, take the time to cross-check the populated numbers, income, RSP and other contributions, deductions and others to make sure everything looks right. Now a few more things. Down here is a section called Net File Access Code. You will not have this if you're filing taxes for the first time. To find this code, simply log into your CRA account, go to the CRA website here, and you can simply sign in using what's called a sign-in partner, which is a financial institution you use. For example, TD, click on that, and enter your bank's sign-in details. Then, in your CRA account, you'll find all your tax information and also your net file number here. Now next, step 4, review and optimize. Once you filled out everything, you'll see a review and optimize button here. Here, Wealthsimple will automatically find the biggest possible tax refund or the smallest amount owing for you. If you've linked your tax return with your partners, it will also optimize both. So in this video, I'm not going to talk about whether or not you should file together with your spouse. I personally do. But if you wish to do that, each you and your spouse need to first set up your profiles, and then you'll be able to link your Wealthsimple tax accounts together. Once you click the button, the system will show you errors and warnings and suggestions. Don't worry, it will help you to make sure that you didn't miss anything. The suggestions part gives you pointers on how you can lower your tax bill even further by checking if you might be eligible for some other tax credits. So the goal here is to get through all these optimization steps, and while you do that, you'll hopefully see your tax refund increasing or the amount owing lowering. I note again here, very important, that although Wealthsimple Tax fills out most of the information for you, you still need to go through the entries, especially the deductions, such as donation to charity, health expenses, etc., to see if the numbers reflect your situation accurately so you can optimize your tax bill. Now what if midway you run into questions or things get really complicated? If that's the case, then you can always click on upgrade here and switch to the Plus plan for priority email support, or even Pro to call an expert. So here you would get a live 30-minute consultation. Note by the way that the premium version over here with priority email support is actually already free for premium Wealthsimple customer. That's customers with $100,000 or more in assets with Wealthsimple. But if you're filing early and have time on your side, then you can also just use the free option and email them your questions. Yes, it may take a bit longer to get an answer, so make sure that you line up all your questions in detail in one email and get it out early. That way you will save yourself some money. Now, if you've checked everything thoroughly, checked off all the optimization points, especially the deductions, and you're happy with it, on to the next step. Step 5 is submitting the tax return. Nowadays, everything can be done online, including your tax return, through a system called CRA Netfile. The benefit of doing this online is also that you'll get your potential tax refund much faster than when filing through snail mail. You'll also avoid the risk of losing any documents in the mail. Simply hit submit. Note, in case you're in Quebec, there's another button you need to click on below here. You'll again be prompted to select the plan. Let's say you chose the free basic plan. Here you see $25, but as I said before, you can just put $0 as well. It's completely up to you. Then hit proceed. You'll be prompted to check all your information again and read the terms. Click submit and you're done. You'll also get a confirmation email from Wealthsimple that it's submitted. Now what happens after you file? So after you file, and the deadline is April 30th usually for personal income tax returns, you'll get a notification from the CRA, a Notice of Assessment or NOA. After the CRA assesses your tax return, they will tell you if you owe them money and how much, or if you're getting a refund. Congratulations in that case. Based on my experience, if everything's in order and you filed online, it only takes a couple of weeks to get the refund. So after hearing all of this, are you going to try filing yourself this year or not? Let me know in the comments below. And again, if you want to use Wealthsimple Tax, you can just head straight to their website and sign up. But if you don't have an account with Wealthsimple yet and you want to start investing with them this year, you can also use my affiliate link below to get your $25 bonus. And if you want more videos on how to build and manage your wealth in Canada explained simply, then consider subscribing. And just in case you're asking, what is a TFSA or RSP actually, then you might find this video useful.